Hello, I'm Bethany Laurel Reiser. Welcome to Inner Evolution Podcast. And this episode is going to be about the differences between plant medicine, psychedelics, and DMT and QHHT. And initially, I thought I would just kind of do a one-to-one video about it. But then, I had this amazing client who was happy to talk about his experiences with DMT and how they are similar to and different from QHHT. So enjoy it. Okay, so let's just get started.
Yeah,
Um, kind of, First of all, what brought you to kind of investigate doing QHHT?
it was it was just a random curiosity. It felt to me at the time like the universe just put something in front of me that I had never heard of, never looked into, never thought. Um, but I knew I looked at other hypnosis things at the beginning or a while ago, but the hour-long sessions, the shorter sessions really didn't seem like they were gonna do much.
Right.
So I was just hesitant. But when you mentioned like this was more of a process than just
Yeah.
come in for an hour and leave. Like this felt like there was more to it. There
Okay.
was more
Okay.
more to get
And
out of it.
then when we had the interview, which is why you're here,
Yeah.
you told me that you had done DMT for quite a portion. Tell me about that. Like, what was that all about?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I was really looking to just be happier and to understand certain things and life and whatnot a lot more. And as an engineer, it's numbers and math and hard science and just facts were always the driving force. And there was a certain point where it I was hitting a wall and I didn't know how to get around it.
Right.
And I always felt disconnected from a lot of people and a lot of things to where it wasn't a good wall to hit. And I
Hmm.
kind of like the universe put QHHT in front of me, it put DMT in front of me. It
Right.
was a random meme of someone sharing like what it looks like to do it.
Okay.
And the comments on it were very eye-opening in that like, yeah, do this and you'll understand. Like there's no other way to put it. This is a
Right.
very abrupt, very intense way to break your current mental state and identify there's more.
Okay. So let's start with your very first experience. What was that like?
It's the first few experiences kind of all blend together, but
Okay.
it was like learning. It was like learning you exist without your body and really feeling that and emphasizing it and experiencing it and noticing that you exist very differently without your body and that it just feels like there's something else beyond.
Right. Now,
So it was
help me understand because I've never done it myself. So
yeah.
I've done QHHT, so I know about the mind's eye experience. It's kind of dreamlike almost. But what is the physical, how does it present itself? How does the experience present itself?
It's definitely more intense and it'd be like if I teleported you into another galaxy, but you look down and you don't see your body or anything, you just see other more galaxy. Like there is no more you.
Right.
You are strictly the person observing
Hmm.
or the entity observing. And then you get put back after about 10-15 minutes. So you come out of it with this very intense, like almost looking around the room, like, was I here? Did I actually go somewhere? Was my body here? Was anybody else here? Like
Right.
what just happened?
Right.
Um,
Now, one of the things I'm curious about, and I watch a lot of consciousness videos, and a lot of them talk about it, and they talk about beings within that realm. Tell me about that. Did you meet any
so
beings, or I mean,
I
what was your experience with that?
I have a different experience than what I think most people have in
Okay.
that when you first start doing DMT, it really does feel like there's a waiting room and it's almost a room of judgment to where you are being judged or graded on if you were allowed to go to the next place.
Wow.
And it's that's where the entities and stuff usually are. Like they line the walls and it just feels like you're
They line the walls. Like, help me
like,
understand
yeah,
that.
like there's imagine just a 360 room that you're looking into and they're just up on top, perched down, looking at you.
Wow.
At
And
least
you
that's what
felt
mine.
like
Everyone has
they felt like
different.
you were being assessed.
Yeah, like and not assessed directly, but just like my presence was known, but not being acknowledged. Like, just let's see what happens. Like, let's sit and observe and see if they pass some test. And some people that do DMT get stuck in that place because they don't and want to go further. They don't pass the test, but within the first few sessions, I was sent through.
Okay. And then what happened?
And so the first couple of sessions, you literally start existing without your body.
Mhm.
You feel your entire body decompose, and you see it float off into billions and billions of fragments, like you're turning into sand. Like you feel your teeth disintegrating and dissolving, and your bones and your structure, your nerves, everything is just like you. There's a very physical feeling of being separated from your body,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and it's intense, but it was also it kept me curious. It kept me interested as to like what
Now, did
is
you experience
what's
that
happening.
same process each time you would go
No,
in? Okay.
and that's where the whole when I did this for pretty regularly for a few months, and then
Hmm.
over the course of maybe a year or two, it always felt like a continuation. Like there was never a reset. It was always almost like a save state to an extent when you leave. Like I was able to go back with certain understandings.
Okay. 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 How did these experiences affect the way you thought about consciousness and what was out in the universe?
It calmed me down. It let me give up control, or not. It let me give up direct control,
Hmm.
and it showed me that. So in DMT, and psychedelics in general, like my description is you get to see like a lot of your past life and experiences through like a DVD Blu-ray chapter menu. Like you get to look back at different parts and catch different details and different things that you might have missed before. And
Your present life,
DMT
the past
present,
memories from your present life.
correct, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So in DMT, like being able to relive that life over 1,000 times and choose different options, like the outcome always was the same. It was just a different way to get to the same outcome. So the options and choices are important, but they're not going to, they didn't really seem to change the outcome. So it let me see and understand that reacting to a situation is more important than the choice going into it.
Hmm.
How I react to an event is more important. And then the intention going into an action as well is
Right.
very important. And that's something that I completely missed and didn't understand until
Wow.
psychedelics.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting that you say a bunch of different ways to go about your life. Like, okay, that girlfriend would have done this. Was it that to that degree
It
or
really was. It was
okay.
yeah, it was different relationships, different life experiences that ended, and it's always, well, what if I did this? What if I did this? And then in that world, you get to do all those things, and the way it plays out is the end result is all the same. It's just suffering or something along like the details. The devil's in the details. The details might be different, but the outcome's the
Right.
same.
That's so interesting because I just had a session yesterday, in fact, where she had just finished with a Native American life and her children in that lifetime had died. And so when she passed, when we came to the part, where she had crossed over, they came to her and said, "We want to show you." And they showed her what life would have been like had they not died. And so I thought that was really interesting. And then they showed her apparently layers upon layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of life options, which is kind of like what you're describing.
Yeah, that is very similar in that. Yeah, you get to see the options, and you get to see as why
Yeah.
just slowing down and reacting to things is better than trying to force an outcome.
Okay. Okay. So let's kind of talk about your experience with QHHT and
Yeah.
how it's very different. I know it's very different. One of the things that I heard someone say is that it kind of just removes ego, DMT. It removes ego and just rips you into the experience.
Yes.
So, what was your experience with QHHT? How is it the same or how is it different?
I was thinking on this question a lot,
Okay.
as to how I would answer it. And QHHT is definitely more mellow, more it's softer. Like it's if it's like getting hit in the face with a squirt gun versus DMT getting hit in the face with a fire hose. Like
Okay.
it affects you very differently in the sense of you can observe and actually take in what's happening versus just absolute chaos that you then come out and are trying to figure out for the next couple of days.
Right.
So the calmness and the ease of getting into it was a lot different, but it made it easier to observe and really take in and appreciate what's happening instead of just, like I said, the chaos.
Do you see any common threads with the imagery or emotions that kind of came up?
I did, and that's the one I've also thought of. Um, I don't I don't believe that my DMT sessions influenced the QHHT sessions. I do still feel like they were independent experiences that showed
Hmm.
the same emotion.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
at first I was very nervous that my I would use QHHT almost to confirm what I was experiencing in DMT land, but
Hmm.
it wasn't that way after the fact. It still felt like a different way of explaining the same thing, but with a different intention behind it.
Okay. Do you have any way or words to explain that a little bit more with the different intentions?
QHHT made it easier to just appreciate the life in the world that I'm in and the opportunity to take a pause to where DMT was brute forcing that there is no pause. Like stuff energy gets recycled, it goes on. It can't go away.
Okay.
To where it just felt daunting knowing that feeling what an eternity is versus
Okay.
QHHT helped make me it helped me just kind of appreciate the now and
Hmm.
just not stress out about that
Okay.
about the long term.
Interesting. Okay. So, is there anything that you want to, kind of talk about what you took away from your session? We can kind of start there.
Yeah. The I'm an engineer. I problem solve, and that's what I love doing. DMT took away my ability to problem solve in the
Hmm.
sense of if I'm no longer problem solving to keep things in control and I'm just a passenger, then I no longer have necessarily problems to solve for myself. And with the way I feel the universe has treated me since that experience with putting a ton of things in my path that would have never been there before, I I feel almost bored at certain times to where I don't have that constant chaos, that constant struggle. QHHT gave me a different perspective on that. Um, with the problem solving is my thing, but it doesn't have to be me. Like it doesn't
Hmm.
have to be my sole identity.
Right. There can be other things that are you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I think was the best experience and the best thing that I've had in a while. And
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember a lot of the session details. And
I remember you went into a tool shed. There was a tool shed.
yeah, the tool shed, and that's where like the engineer you tied me back to the engineer side because I completely missed that connection at first. To where I just had so many options of ways to move forward, but I felt stuck in that I there's no one else around me, so what am I problem solving for?
Right.
I had isolated myself so much that I didn't have everyone around me had left, and now that there's a problem to solve, I have no one to solve it for.
Right. Right.
Um,
So
and
interesting.
then yeah, I remember at the end there was the sense of community that kind of helped bring me back, and that's where I'm trying to focus on now is building up that community again to help other people achieve what I've been able
Right.
to achieve, just a calmness in life and being able to appreciate things and appreciate what I have instead of what I don't.
Hmm. Hmm. Now,
So
QHHT, Dolores Cannon always kind of emphasized that it's kind of a one and done thing. Now, there are some people that want to come back just because for the exploration, they just want to know more, they just want to explore more. But most of the time, one is all someone needs. Now, is that kind of like how do you feel about that?
oh, I 100% agree, and that actually makes me comfortable knowing that that's a thing because I didn't look it up. I was talking to my friend Shannon about this, and I mentioned like, would you want to go back? It's like I don't know if I need to. Like, I really don't feel I would get anything more that I don't.
Other than exploration.
yeah, other than just curiosity, but I
Yeah,
feel like there's other ways I could benefit and other ways to explore things that I don't.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I that makes me feel very comfortable now knowing that that's a normal thing.
I mean, it's to me, I found mine kind of really transformative and really informative about, kind of who I am more at my kind of core. And so, like, what did you feel about that? What did you kind of take away from the session?
It was nice to confirm thoughts and feelings in a calm environment.
Mhm.
When I'm doing it in chaotic places, it's very hard to see through everything and to really identify that yes, this is what it's supposed to be. So doing it in a calm environment, definitely,
Right,
or having it
right,
be a more smooth entry and exit.
right.
I feel other people might benefit from multiple sessions if this is their first time or the first couple times exploring the idea of consciousness because it can be overwhelming. And
Hmm.
if I didn't do the work beforehand, I think I would want to go back just to kind of see what else is there. So for anyone else, I think multiple sessions could be absolutely beneficial and not not to be avoided. Just
And your
trust
session
your gut.
was actually really tame. I mean, there was
Awesome.
not a lot of, big action, and that's exactly what you needed. And some people have, where they're an orb, or, like this person I had yesterday, she was just absolutely almost overwhelmed by the experience that she got. And so this was actually perfect because you probably had a lot of overwhelming experiences
I
with the
did.
DMT prior.
I did. And I wasn't happy with myself, which is part of the reason I did DMT. Like I was not in a good place. I had just found out I was diagnosed with EDD and I was given a bunch of meds. I was on a very high dose of Adderall that made me an asshole
Okay.
that I didn't appreciate until after the fact. And DMT really kind of forced me into it. It helped me sit in the room with my demons and what I've done and really observe what I've gone through. So yeah, going into QHHT, there wasn't much left that I
Hmm.
hadn't already
Hmm.
seen and observed and things. But
Hmm.
yeah, if I hadn't
But it
done
was
that work
just the
beforehand,
right amount. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I say when I say I'm bored. Like I can't not to jinx it, but everything really seems to be lining up and moving forward when you really just understand and appreciate consciousness in the universe
Yeah.
and that you're not in direct control, but your intentions and your thoughts and your actions influence what's brought to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how you respond to the things that you're not in control of.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. So, what would kind of be your words of wisdom about um, recommending people do QHHT and recommending people who have heard like all this, hubbub about plant medicine and DMT and stuff like that, but are like chicken, like me. And, like, is it an alternative or is that, not really comparable? Like, tell me.
It's definitely an alternative.
Hmm.
And I think the biggest thing is to listen to your body, listen to your gut. It might not be for everybody, but it definitely is for the people that need it or would benefit most.
Hmm.
Um, I started with DMT, which not many people do, but my body told me I got this, and again started putting the right people in front of me to make it happen.
Right.
To where other people, it's in front of them, and they just like, no, I'm going to do this instead, or I'm going to go down this QHHT approach. So definitely trust your body. Like, no, the other alternatives are out there, and they work, but they also require the end user to work. Like,
Right.
it's not a button you push and it fixes everything. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done by the individual that I think is assumed doesn't have to happen. Like I don't think it's talked about a lot in that world of it's not a take this to yeah do mushrooms one night and you'll be cured tomorrow.
Right. Right. Whereas
There's some
maybe
emotional baggage.
QHHT, I mean,
Yeah,
what do you think about that? Just
it's
honest,
QHHT is
honest, honest. Yes.
it's a lot. It would be a lot easier and a lot more approachable because you're just not hitting the face as hard. So for certain people, I think it's a lot easier to break that mentality of the emotional, not mentality, but the emotional barrier, the like feeling that
Right.
emotion and that raw
Hmm.
stuff. Like I said, with mushrooms, you're not in control of it. So you're kind of buckling into a roller coaster, just seeing what happens. With QHHT, I feel there's a little bit more comfort.
Right. Right. Do you think that QHHT is easier to reflect on?
Yes.
Okay. Versus the other one
Yes.
is just like, oh my gosh, that was so crazy.
Yeah, and that's one of the hardest parts with DMT and DMT especially, is psychedelics in general. But taking knowledge back from that reality into this one is impossible because what you see, there are no words really to describe. Like when you're seeing a fourth dimension, it's you can't like unless somebody else has experienced that, saying you exist without a body doesn't mean anything. Or
Right.
saying I've lived 1,000 lifetimes doesn't mean anything. Or the geometry, the patterns, the fact that you're not in a room, like you are the room, but also there's the rooms around you. It's just a very different thing that QHHT made it a lot easier to keep the experience with, to reflect on it.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any final closing things that you want to say about either one or a combo or whatever?
Just be curious about these processes and to go
Hmm.
into them with an open mind and don't and no expectations.
Right.
To really just observe what's happening and enjoy and try to take in what's being fed to you.
Hmm.
It feels very different than what you're used to just because those thoughts are coming from somewhere, but you don't necessarily know where.
Right.
And that's to me, the fun part is in helping identify that there's something else drawing and pushing and bringing people. And
I love that.
so, yeah, just be curious.
So, are you promoting anything? I mean, I don't know if you have anything that you want to promote. If you do, now would
I
be the
honestly,
time.
I'm not.
Okay.
Like I mentioned the thing, I'm grateful to be able to share my experience and to hopefully help other people achieve similar.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's again, being an engineer, being a very always chasing the latest thing, always wanting the newest thing and stuff. It's been extremely calming these last few years
Mhm.
to just not. And like I still have things that I like and still have things that I work for, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's very calm.
Right. Right.
I wish more people could experience that. So no, I really appreciate this opportunity to hopefully make other people a little more comfortable and to see that there's
And that they don't
something
have
there.
to do psychedelics, or they can
Right.
try this as another way
No,
in.
yeah, like the QHHT definitely is an alternative and a good, not even alternative, it's an option. Like
Yeah.
it sits out there next to the psychedelics. I think all of them really just focus on breaking the status quo. Like they break your norms. Sensory
Right.
deprivation tanks are similar in concept.
Yes.
Um, DMT, psychedelics, they elevate your awareness. It's like everything else lowers it. So all you're doing is breaking it from the norm so you can observe something different. So no,
Almost
I
like
don't want to say
lucid dreaming a little bit, you know?
yeah, that's why I don't want to say this is an alternative. It's an option. Like it's not.
Right. Right. They're all
So
good, in other words.
they're all good. They're all going to break you from the norm and to help you see something different and
Hmm.
experience something different.
Right. Right. Well, very good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your
Welcome.
time today. Absolutely.
Thank you for asking. I
Y-
appreciate this.
Yeah.